Do I write what I want to write? Or do I write what's popular? What if what I want to write is not popular? Or what if what was once popular that I want to write is now no longer popular at all? And what about marketability? Screenplay needs to be marketable, doesn't it? So, these questions have melted every screenwriter's brain at one point or another. So stick around so that this doesn't happen to you. I'm Carl T. Rogers, the Storylosopher. I'm an award-winning writer and director here to guide you to grow into a better screenwriter. And in this video, I'm going to give you some advice on how you can know what to write so it'll have the best possible chance of getting sold and turned into an actual movie. Some people wonder if there's a particular type of screenplay that they should try to write so that they have a better chance of selling it or getting representation or things like that. Now, there's multiple schools of thought on this. Some people say, oh, well, you should write what is popular or what you think will be popular, or you should write what you would want to see. You really shouldn't try to write what's popular now, because what's popular now is really what was in development a few years ago. And if you try to hit the mark of what's popular now, by the time it would get produced, it would be considered old. I really don't think you should try to shoot for a moving target like that. And so I really think that you should write what you would want to see, what inspires you, not just what you want to see, but what only you could write. Now, there's different ways that people like to categorize some of the narrative elements that go into a film as it relates to its marketability. And so you've probably heard this term before, high concept. Oh, this film needs to be high concept. Now, high and low here doesn't refer to quality. It's not like high concept is better than low concept or something like that. It's really just the idea that a high concept film, the idea itself can be easily encapsulated and explained to somebody in one or two sentences. Now, this does not refer to the same thing as a logline. Every film, no matter what type of concept it would be, would have its own logline. But what I'm saying with high concept is that it is a unique idea that can be explained in a simple way. So think, for example, Jurassic Park versus August Osage County. Both of those would have loglines, but one of them is high concept, and one of them is not high concept. People get trapped in a dinosaur zoo and have to survive. That's basically the whole thing, right? Jaws on land with dinosaurs. That is a high concept story. It is something that has never been done before, and you can easily imagine what it would be, what it would look like, and the set pieces that would be in that. August Osage County would be low concept because it's about death, the family, and because of the death of the grandfather, all the people come to town and spend time together under one roof, and there's lots of family drama and infighting and people accusing other people of things. And once again, both of those would have a log line. Both of those have stories that can be summarized in 1 to 2 sentences, but the difference here being that the idea for the film would be difficult to pitch to someone if they didn't already understand who the characters are and what their dynamics are and what they're trying to achieve. Right? Without the characters, it kind of falls apart. Whereas something like Jurassic Park is high concept because, based on the premise, you can still have a film based around that, even if you have different characters. And so some people say, oh, you should only write high concept because that's what people are buying. It's like, well, no. It's kind of think of high concept and low concept as more of marketing terms rather than storytelling terms, okay? Now, some more marketing terms that I want you to know about are 4-quadrant. This film needs to be a 4-quadrant film. Some people would say that just refers to a family film or something that's G or PG. That's not necessarily true anymore. 4-quadrant technically means on one axis you have under 25 and over 25, and on the other axis you have male and female. That means those 4 boxes would be made up of males under 25 and over 25, and females under 25 and over 25. And those are the 4 boxes that the film should appeal to if it is a 4-quadrant film. And so not all films are 4-quadrant because they don't appeal to all 4 of those main demographics. Once again, this is more of a marketing term. This is what studio executives are thinking about when they're trying to evaluate what films are going to get made and what aren't. Now, the screenwriting teacher Scott Myers wrote a great article that I've got down below for you to read, which is about kind of his take on the 4-quadrant, like the updated version, not based on people's ages and genders, but more based on the themes of the film. And you can think of this with let's talk about it. S stands for spectacle. So your big tentpole movies would normally
count as a spectacle film. Think Avengers, think Transformers, think Avatar. All of it is spectacle because it is based on exploiting the visual nature of filmmaking in a way that relies on showing you things that you can't see in real life. It creates things that don't exist in real life in a way that makes it an immersive experience, so it is therefore a spectacle. Second is international. Does the film appeal to an overseas population? In the old days, it used to be that the majority of movies made their money through domestic sales, so they made most of their money from audiences here in the United States. But as the United States became more and more prolific in how many films they made and in how popular those films were, it turns out that one of the United States' biggest export is cinema. And so my country is kind of the country of cinema, and so for that reason, now movies make majority of their money from the foreign market, so to speak. So if you want your film to be successful or have potential success in the eyes of a producer or an executive, it needs to appeal to an international audience. N stands for nostalgia. Now, nostalgia, once again, could be interpreted in several different ways. This could mean that the film is referencing a different era. It could mean that it's a period piece and is actually set in a different era. It could be a remake of an already appreciated film. But basically, there needs to be some type of emotional connection to the subject matter that people can already kind of cue in on, and they already understand what it will be kind of about. And the last thing is F for franchise. And this just means that the story could be easily made into a sequel, a trilogy, a series, an extended universe, anything like that, where there's multiple ways to bring that story back to life and expand it in some way so that you have more and more stories to go along with the original story. And so that's kind of the idea behind the new version for Quadrant that Scott Myers identified. Now, since I'm somebody who sits in the director's chair when I'm writing, when I think about stuff, I'm not only thinking about marketability with some of the things that we've talked about, this is high concept, low concept, what quadrant would this go in, would this cover all four of them? I'm also thinking about other things which I would also recommend that you think about. Think about the genre that your film would be. Is it a popular genre? Is it a genre that gets made frequently? No matter what happens with the film industry, horror movies still get made. That's just an example. The audience. Is your film going to be marketable to that audience? Even if it's not a four-quadrant film, is there still an audience out there that will like your film based on the elements that are in it? How much will your film cost to make? Now, you might not know a lot about this yet, but do research and look up other films that are similar to yours, and you can see how much their budgets were, and that'll give you kind of a better idea. And also, this is the big one here, is characters. Your characters need to be actor bait, because when a new script is getting sent around and it's trying to get produced, the people who are trying to get the film made are going to be trying to attach actors to it in order to attract more money to it. And so if you have a film that has really strong characters that actors really want to play because they would be challenged by it, because it would make them look good, because it would be something new for them, or because they just like it, any of those reasons is going to make them more interested in wanting to agree to be a part of the film, and therefore your ability to do that is based on how you write those characters in the script itself. When you're thinking about what you should write, I don't focus so much on high concept or the quadrants. I'm more thinking about some of these other aspects. So I was talking about this earlier. The trends that you're going to try to go after are not going to be trends by the time you get your script done and get it out there. Chasing the market, if you're chasing the market, you've kind of already lost. It's just like how you've seen movies come out where almost the exact same thing came out right after it. It's not because there was any kind of intellectual property theft. It's just because there happened to be similar ideas floating around, and the studios wanted that type of movie made, and they both got it made, and then you end up with Olympus Has Fallen and White House Down coming out around the same time. So it's not, in my opinion, a good idea to try to chase a moving target. You need to do something that's completely new, that only you can do, or you need to do something that is popular regardless of whatever is trendy right now. And take a look at this from Aaron Sorkin. Trying to guess what the mass audience wants, and then trying to satisfy that is usually a bad recipe for getting something good. So that's why it really doesn't matter what other people are writing. That should not dictate what you are writing. Okay.
There you have it. Now, let me know in the comments if you have any questions about everything I discussed, and help other screenwriters that you know by sharing this video with them. And if you are ready to take action and finally get your screenwriting career off the ground, then click the link below and take my free mini course called How to Launch Your Screenwriting Career. In less than 35 minutes, I'll give you the 3 keys to success that you need in order to become a working screenwriter. See you there.